Titanic theme song, you guys all
Yeah,
know
okay,
it.
that Titanic theme. So I have to now sing that
It's
when
not
it
sure,
comes
it's
down
not
to it.
guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. You just need 3D Max to step it up.
Step it up beyond belief. I need to see them win like 3 games and get high kill games.
We'll see what's going to
Oh
happen,
my
though,
God.
as we go into the second game on the day. It's going to be a straight eastern to western plane. And, well, I mean, for military teams, sure, a little further to go, but not the biggest deal, after all.
Everyone on Twitch chat just saw the look of regret in my face, right? As you, why do you have to bring it up now? Like I'm going into this.
Because now it's
completely-
revealed. Now it's official. And
Yeah, now
since
I'm
they're
just
doing,
upset.
I mean, if they were doing bad, I would never have said anything. Believe
Of
me.
course,
I would
yeah,
just
of
said,
course.
don't go on YouTube, don't watch videos. But because they're, I mean, I probably jinxed it, and now 3D Max wins like 4 games in a row. But we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. I'm curious to see, where do we have Northern Lights?
Well, yeah. Ooh.
That was a high pitch voice.
That was-
I
I know
didn't
that.
know
Oh,
you
yeah.
could. I didn't know
That's
you could get
normally
up
you,
there.
not me.
You can go all the way up there. I didn't even know that.
I can try. It happens every now and again. That's my real shock because I'm used to seeing a team in military base, but no, everyone's changed it up a little bit and they're jumping right on top of 3D Max. So they just don't do this to the team that I actually need to get points, please, Northern Lights.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. That's what I paid you for. So it's all good. No, I think what they're doing is they're splitting hospital and going down south. They're
Yeah,
taking
yeah.
the only issue for 3D Max could be that they could be taking their vehicles. Now, well, good choice in not going military base, I guess,
Yeah.
since the circle did go up there. But this is going to be one more team for 3D Max to have to figure, we have people nearby that we're not used to. A, when are they going to rotate? B, how are they going to rotate? And C, how should we move accordingly?
And the one thing I'm liking here, we've seen this type of circle a couple of times now, and both Riddle and Seek Org do pretty well when it comes down to it, right? This is their area of the map. They position themselves early, and they're not forced to move out as early as other teams. Now, the great thing we'll get to see here is whether Seek Org can get a back-to-back win, because we haven't seen that yet for Group B.
Northern Lights could be the Franz Ferdinand of I guess. Oh damn it! I forgot the countries. Austria and France, I guess. I don't know. World War I. They could be the ignition between the two North and South George teams to start fighting each other. That's what I was trying to say. Damn it, I hate when I try to do something historically correct and then I mess it up. But nonetheless, we are back in inside game number 2. And as I was saying here, 3D Max have to figure how to rotate around because they're not used to having that extra team there. And also for other teams, that's going to alleviate a little more room because now there's going to be one more team that's going to be up north early.
And Gamer Legion would have seen this, right? They constantly take the area of Ferry Pier and they say, all right, we're aware that there'll be a team coming from military base, when and where. Now they haven't. They can go, all right, we don't have to sit and wait for it. We can rotate a little bit earlier. We can have a bit of footing into this to decide where we want to go next.
True.
The only thing I don't want to see them do is just run straight up north into Zoke and Nam, who will be sat there ready, fragging power away.
We will have to see just exactly how they do manage to get their way on up. And we keep talking about them. Fenerbahce. Such high caliber team with players on it, or such high caliber players on their team, I guess is what I'm just going to say. They just, I don't know. It's the same thing again. They go into fights, they go in 4 guys together. We think, oh, well, this is it. Now they've got it. All of a sudden, once they start shooting, it's as if communication just breaks down. And that's the thing. Sometimes when you start shooting in the game, like in Counter-Strike, when you push aside, people stop talking. They just, oh, now I have to shoot, now I have to focus. And that's technically where the communication becomes the most important.
Well, I'm going to take a leaf out of the Danish players' books, right? They've probably got the best communication I've ever heard across multiple different games here. And that's one thing you have to be able to do, even when that firefight is going on. Keep that communication up. Keep a good awareness around you of, like, making sure you're listening to what your in-game leader's kind of telling you and where he wants you to put yourself. And that's how you can get the best spot going into some of these fights. Now, we do mention... Oh, my God. Okay, I'm just ignoring it now. Fenerbahce, the reason we're focusing on them quite a lot and we do talk about them is because from what we've seen from this team, they do have great potential. But it is these moments where we're just seeing them fall apart within this lobby. And maybe this is just proof of this lobby's a little bit too hot for them to handle.
Also, one of the things to me is that we've had teams we've had our doubts about, but all the teams have had their shiny moments. Or like there's small moments where we've said, well, we know they're capable. I'll just have to do that again. But we haven't had that moment yet, to me at least, for Fenerbahce.
Not at all for Fenerbahce. And you just made an amazing point there because yesterday when Zoke and Nam went down early was when we saw a lot of teams show us the real ability, right?
Exactly.
And that's what it can be. There can be some teams in these lobbies that are just so dominant that it puts other teams to a position where we wouldn't normally see them being quiet.
Yeah, but now we see not fair already in on the action is going to be Osterlovak taking the knock, and Sam Peak to finish him off. They thought they were rotating early, but here comes Inside Games. They will secure themselves not only the knock, but also the finish off. And Vadon seems saying, you know what, not only are we in a good spot, we're also going to get a green beast to the team, and that could hopefully, for Riddle, mean that they'll get a little further this game.
Do you know what? That is the second time Donzi has had that kind of chance. A crate literally landing right on top of him. He's grabbed it and he's got the hell out of there. And with the bike, with that extra mobility in there, he's just going to be straight in and saying, all right, no problem. A few shots fired off towards him, but he doesn't have to be scared just yet. Now, what's interesting as well is Inside Games. We saw them yesterday. They had that one standout performance. I want to see some more from this because it was Ostrolove, who as an individual impressed me so much in some of these tighter situations.
He had some really, really good shots with the DMRs yesterday. A lot of the players actually did that we haven't really seen. That's the thing. Give them the chance. Put them in the perfect scenario where they can shine. And they will, at least more often than not, for the majority of the players in this lobby. We'll have to see, though, if this is going to be yet a game where they can pull off a win. They are in the area where they won the game yesterday. So, I mean, odds. I mean, they have the everything set up for them to get themselves a win, but will they be able to pull it off? Only time will tell. Circle is closing on in as the people are maneuvering their way over the water towards the northern side of the circle. And for Oshtek, they're saying, you know what? We got second place in the game down here yesterday. Let's go back here as well.
Yeah, Oshtek Warriors rolling their way past Inside Games. We've got Seacorg on your screens now, and they're only just making their way up towards Saverni where Riddler sat. Zen, look at that, getting the first knock there onto Zonk. Can they get the finish as well?
Fenerbahce had to stop over on the other side to get those mids going. They were not expecting Sokted Nam there at all. So Sunk, not a whole lot more he can do than go down and out.
That was this was exactly what happened as well. Zen stayed where this position that are at here, waiting for teams to come across and got one of the first picks. So this is how it can work out for him, right? Usual kind of thing of what you were saying in terms of, is there anything these teams look to do every single time when they get a circle in a similar position?
Now you know. If you have a circle north, don't cross that bridge because Circle Nam is there. It's pretty simple.
They've now got both ends of the bridge covered, and the deep is on his own as well.
And that's also why we see so many teams go out east. Edelweiss out there, Millman and the other teams far out on east side of Yasnaya. They do not want to get on those bridges because it will be death for you. Deep trying to make that runoff. One of the heavy killers and hitters for Northern Lights does not want to go down early. He's trying to make a funny rotation back towards where he came from, but he might just be running into 3D Max there.
I mean, he's got to hope 3D Max will rotate by the time he catches up to him, because otherwise he's going to be under a whole world of hurt coming his way.
Parking the vehicles inside the dip, not something you see done too often. Tends to be on one of the sides where they park and then they'll use the dip for sort of the issue being that it can be kind of tricky to get those vehicles out from there again once you've placed them all inside. But we'll see, of course, if they'll even have to. I would expect to see a few circles coming up in this direction.
Yeah, Fenerbahce may be hoping that they're going to play the long game from there. As the deep does go down, he runs straight into 3D Max. They'll finish him off, and that means Northern Lights are down a player straight away.
And that's the issue, right? For a team in Northern Lights. They come up here. They haven't been here for the previous 9 games, that. They don't know when 3D Max rotates. And they thought he had, and now he hadn't. So he went down. And for 3D Max, wait, was that the only player? Are there more people around here? They might have to stick around for a little while longer to figure if there's more people coming this direction.
And that is where you have to have your wits about you at all times. You need to be looking around and saying, okay, there is still potential. He was on the bike as well, which is less than ideal to run into other teams with. He survived the first shots from Zen, runs straight into 3D Max. Now, not fair. Managing to grab 4th place last time around thanks to Rip and his little bit of heroics, even getting some kill points in there as well. Can they do something again? The positioning here is pretty good for them.
The circle's coming to a close. Where are we headed next? Looks like all 3D Max has committed to the northern side of the river. Or the ocean, I guess it is out here. The bay, at least. And Circle goes up north. As expected, at least for landmass ratios. It will go on up there. Once again, that center, we got ourselves Seek Orc, but will they be able to keep this 4-way split, or will they have to get closer together? I would assume to see them get more together, but look at this already. You have compounds down south and you have Savernia up north, but there's not a whole lot more of hardcover than that.
7. Running straight into Seacorg here. We're going to see a bit of a battle again. And okay, we keep mentioning what Seacorg do, right? This is phase 2, and at least they're backing away in the vehicles. They're not going to take this fight. But they've just got to get themselves into positions where I don't see this happening early on. I don't see opportunities for them to go down, because when we see them get into late game, that's when the individual skill and prowess of them really starts to show.
Why would you want to take a fight? There's a 50% chance you lose it if you cannot take the fight and then have a 60% chance to win the next one, right? So that's what we talk about as well. If you fight circle 1, circle 2, more often than not, it will be a straight 4v4. Whereas if you take a fight as a 4-man team in circle 4 or 5, odds are that team you're up against have lost one player on a rotation. They have, I mean, there's such a bigger chance that they're fewer in numbers.
And there's more teams coming up towards them, as well as we have a look at what Gamer Legion are going to be doing. Coming out from the south, they have avoided Zoke and Nam, which is good for them. But Zoke and Nam are thinking, hey, wait a second, is that all the teams yet? We wanted to get some early frags. But the thing is, Zoke and Nam are quite happy to play on this outside of the circle, especially at this point. Again, we don't see them engage until phase 4, phase 5, and a little bit deeper into this.
Like, they'll play around the center if they get the circles, but if they don't, they're happy to stay on the edge as well.
And that's it. Some teams force their way to the circle because they want it so badly as that car. That was very lucky, Melbourne. Good timing to run in. Keep yourself covered. Keep yourself hidden off there as Tornado Energy under pressure once again. And it's not just from one team. Seacorg also firing up into them as they sit in Severny as of now. But yeah, what we were saying there about Zoke and Nam is a lot of teams will quite happily just give it up and say, I really want to get that center circle. And it actually ends up where they lose players or they end up getting completely picked off. Zoke and Nam will play whatever they've been given and play the longevity, smarter game.
Exactly. You see up here just above Fenerbahce, you got 7 Esports. Might be able to make a push on down. Those vehicles are scary close to one another, so one well-placed nade could be a triple kill right there, but I'm not even sure they're aware there are people sitting right underneath them. They should know, you'd assume, but you never know. You never know. Could be that they came in first. Yeah, could be that they came in first, and they just haven't got the info that Buster and 7 just came in here now. Yeah,
Fenerbahce have been there for quite some time, though, haven't they? They've only been, so this is going to be really interesting, actually, because this could be the element of surprise that works out for them to get some extra kills on the board here.
Very much so. Will they make a push on up, though? Will they stay down? She Gamer Legion. They're looking hot for this compound. They got themselves a knock off it, and they're pushing in a team that's not at all afraid to make these pushes. Bjorn is going to be the front man on the feet, and Hamster and Timber will push in together as well. They do manage to get the rest on up, though. Now it's a 2v3.
Maestro needs to react fast. Okay, bro, straight out of that window. He doesn't have the health to work with. Maestro goes down, and this is not looking good.
You need to be in a position to help your teammates, Perfectix, and he is not. 2 guys gone down already. They did get 2 knocks the other way, and they're just not in a position to do anything. Nades are coming in. That could be right on the money. If they're fortunate, Hamster gets finished off because of it.
And 7, they are nearly out of it. They took a load of hits, and they've only got 2 players left alive. Fenerbahce jumped up, and they were ready and waiting for it. That positioning, that prone spot, worked out massively for him. Elderwest was already tons of distance away, and Krabik is now just like, okay, I'm going to play catch-up here. we got to try and stay alive.
Got their finish-offs with the nades, and now they're on the far southern side of the circle as well. And for OK, I mean, this is Perfectix. They're not at all in a position to anticipate being pushed. They got a knock really quickly, but they never reacted quickly enough. They got 2 guys down from Gamer Legion, but they needed to react faster. OK, bro never came back to help. Perfectix held that angle instead of trying to actively help out his teammates. Just not a whole lot he could do there, unfortunately. But now 2v2 in the compound, and look at who's coming running up.
And that's the thing, right? It should have never got to a 2v2 at this point. It should have been pretty much Gamer Legion able to take advantage of a position where they actually had the health advantage, they had the man advantage, and instead, smart plays coming out. So this now will be very interesting to watch Fenerbahce roll up in here as well, as they want to try and get themselves into it at the same time.
They're constantly taking fire, and Soktat now will be the teams on the southern side push on in. They saw all the knocks. They know that teams have been eliminated, or players at least, have been eliminated, and they know they have the upper hand. Now they're just trying to flank around the compound, take positions. Now once again, Fenerbahce on the rotation. They're doing it well, but they've already lost 1 guy, so casualties coming in their way early on as well.
They just need to be careful. They've got the remaining players of 7 around them. So Ken Nam are looking for anyone to just poke a head out of that window, and they will do the damage. Elderwist looking to avenge some of his fallen teammates here. He's got the distance to play with. Willigan going for the finish. He gets tagged up just a little bit, but that's going to be from Seacorg, and this is the distance that's being played out here.
Yeah, it's a horrible place to be forced to go into. This is like the worst city to be forced into of all the cities, if we can call shooting range a city. It's like the full commit place you go to. It's hard to leave from there again once you're kind of forced inside. And for Sun Team, they have a good position on the northern side. Soktat Nam right here as well have to figure, do we want to go on this and up? Because they see 4 players. They just don't know that it's 2 different teams.
Zoka and Nam, to me, right, are a true, like, military unit when they push forward. The way they approach things, just going over the hill at the same time, getting the nades out, it's the timing it's coming down to. And they're instantly going to force away these two teams out of position because they were ready to fight each other. This third party's like, oh, God, okay, the cavalry really is here, and we need to get the hell out of here. And that's exactly what OK Bro is doing.
3D Max, a team that we haven't had the pleasure of seeing with 4 guys alive late game a whole lot, but now they have 4 guys up and running. They have some room for themselves, and they're pushing down towards 2 of the players in C-Class. So for Sunsea and for Furax, they have to figure, do we want to go down and help, or do we not?
And that's it, right? There's a big split here.
Yeah.
The distance is massive. Now, the DMRs can come into play a little bit, but it's not going to be the be-all and end-all of it all, because 3D Max have the numbers at least grouped up together. And they do need to be aware that 7's close by as well. OK Bro's just joining it at the same time, up in his vehicle. He's got his teammate Perfectix with him, but is it going to be enough? There's a couple of 2-player splits across the board here, which puts us into a 2v2v2v2.
2v2v2v2, very much so.
It's
the duos of shooting range trying to fight things off as the circle is coming to a close. Where, oh, where are we headed? Will they all have the benefit of staying? Well, at least for a while they will. And for all the teams Southwest, they're forced to fight. And now Page and Sokdetnam are pushing, and Makan first guy to go down.
And look at the way they're doing it. Liet to lose a player. They went in together, managed to get Mac and Dark out, and they're looking for the final kill. Soak and Nam putting themselves in the position. The other players healing up after they've taken some of that early damage. But this is really nice. Inside Games getting involved, finding a bit of a fight with Oshchek Warriors. Arsenali does manage to get a knock on, but he won't get the kills in there. Sanguino comes in to finish it off, though. He knows he needs to grab that point just in case they go down here. Nades barreling out towards Timber on your main screen at the same time, and he is under pressure. He is low on health. He's going to be making that first aid kit work for him, but it's not going to be enough. The nades go boom, and Gamer Legion go down.
In 16th place again.
Oh, boys. And the thing is, the reason I'm saying this is because they had a couple of good games. They had high kill get. I was enjoying what we were seeing from them.
Yeah.
And they just, in these last 2 days, it's like they've fallen asleep. Something's not right there. Something needs to change.
Unfortunate, but hopefully for them more good games will come their way. Of course, can only hope, Sokdetnam, though, they played it smart. They left the compound. They were actually going further center, but then because they heard the Northern Knights teams drive away, they're like, well, let's have the players gone. Let's go up and kill the remaining. And they actually turned around, came back and got 2 kills. And now making a move. Jacks it out. Finally, we see Fenerbahce in some action. And, well, for 3D Max, nothing new under the sun. Lose a player early on rotation.
Yeah, Fenerbahce, they're finding themselves in the right place at the right time on multiple occasions here. 3D Max now down to 2 players that kept 4 alive for the longest time. These last couple of engagements just not working out for them. Personal courage still up there. Only lost Higgy so far.
See Cass, and we see the boys from Stella, that is, making their way in from the south. And Cass was actually kind of isolated all by himself up there. He has the entire team out east. Not sure what he was doing over there by himself, but got caught off for sure, and in the end he would go down. So just 3 players remaining, and still, I guess it's only fair, because yesterday was all Cass trying to single-handedly get them some placement points, but this time around he will be the eye in the sky as the remaining 3 players from Stella try to see what they can do from the far southern side. You see them right here, great show of where they're on. Riddle getting pulled up on by people, and Simpson saying, I'll help out a little bit, gets himself the AWM. It was Dancy to get the damage done, but they need all the help they can get because there's still more people to be killed.
Annie Bro's up close and personal. Looking to see what he can hear.
Actually backed out of the building. I like that. He was inside, but he jumped on out. Now the big question is going to be what he's going to be able to do from this position. You see Genso and Rip, they're the only 2 players remaining. They took some casualties coming in here. But for Handy Bro, how can he leave? They're in a 2-1-1 split, really. We saw, it's kind of the same split that we saw Quickmath do in Group A last week. Ooh, that's a good shot to the upper chest. Unfortunately, not a knock. AWM to the chest, and it does that much damage.
He's looking around those Inzan. You're very much out in the open there. He's so focused on that rock, I don't want to see him get picked off because he can do some serious damage from here.
Very much so. Handy Bro gets finished off. That's unfortunate. That's one of the players down in their 4-way split. And that's what it costs you. Sometimes when you get a little too greedy in those splits, you will be pulled up upon, and not a whole lot you can do. Kofus, though, using all the smoke penance that he can to stay alive, but now the circle comes in to damage him as well, and he is not in for a good one here.
No, that's some damage that he doesn't want to be taking at this point. He's going to get himself medded up as much as possible. He's not going to make it through. He's going to go down, and then he's just going to get picked apart as the fire comes in towards him.
Yeah, see the circle shifting up north as well, so Seagawk sitting well in it. I would expect to see Sunsea Sixy and Ness making their way on up towards Balas and Furax. They're coming down now to pick them up, it seems like. But for Lobo, personal courage and all kinds of trouble. Phosphor is all by himself. He is alive, but he does not have anywhere to go.
And that's it, right? 3D Max. Keeping Very alive is great for him. They have been able to hold this position for the longest, but they've also not gained any ground. They've been here for so much time, and it's now like, okay, we've got to move, but the rest of the teams have started to pull us in, and now we've got nowhere really we can look and turn.
And a team that's gone kind of under the sun, for us at least, is look at that, already 5 kills. Already 5 kills, Circle 5. That's how they continue to get points, even in games where they necessarily don't get the placements. They constantly get up in there. A team that we haven't really talked about this game, at least, because they haven't done a whole lot other than rotating, is Tornado Energy. They're sitting dead center. They have a good position. They could get pulled up on soon, but now it's up to them to do something. Jambaway, Moleman, Sixy, they're trying to make that rotation on it. Where are they going? What can they play from? Jambaway is trying to make that run. Oh, but he's flying around in his vehicle. That's not how you drive. You gotta keep those 4 wheels on the ground. Set peak though. Under a lot of fire.
Fire is just being shot across the entire map as they tried to rotate in. It was all guns blazing. Jambaway is super close to Pixel here. More shots being fired off there by Forsberg, trying to get him, trying to finish him off. He knows exactly where he is, just tapping away ever so slowly. Jambaway goes down as well, so he wasn't able to find the kill onto Pixel. Pixel will get the finish onto him. And Yellow Submarine, last player to get it done onto him. Personal courage go down.
Oh, also Lorik taken down there as well. Not a whole lot more to it than that, trying to stay safe, but not going to be able to do so. So Pixel, the last remaining hope inside the shack, where they're literally a pixel on the map, trying to stay put inside of there. But for Sixy and Moleman, they might have lost one player in one shack, so they said, you know what, we'll just take the other.
Now, how split up have Seek Org been for the majority of this game? We've got 2 players towards the shooting range, 2 players just up north on the hill, barreling down at the moment, and this is where it's a little bit scary for me, because if one of them gets picked off, then you're in a really dire situation. How are they going to find themselves out of this? They really want to get these kills onto Stella, and they believe they can just get it done. And Barlos, nade in hand.
Missed it.
I'm like, yeah, that's going to be no. Not quite there. He's probably give it another go. They know their position has been known. Sixy pops out, tries to get the damage done, but he's going to be able to get the finish off.
Great timing from them as well, peeking out when they heard that he had the nade in hand. Great concentration from Sixy to make that maneuver around exactly when he heard that nade splint go pull off.
Yeah, Furax unable to give the cover fire enough to keep his friend alive, and that now means this split has started to work out pretty badly. Barlos is going to really struggle to get out of there, and luckily for him at least, is they haven't gone in to finish him off. Oh, they have just then. There you go. He gets finished off by another team. It's Ghost Legion who are back up within this top end of it.
Yep, very well played. They had the chance to come back today, and they are doing extremely well at that. Still 4 guys alive. We have Tornado Energy as well. They're sitting inside the circle. They have the cover needed, but they need to hold off Riddle coming in. And also look at this position for Sukted now. They have vehicles available, sure, and they're not inside the circle yet. They have to get further down the hill, and they're wide out in the open.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's where they go from here. They want to try and find a timing that they can get down where the other team's already busy, and that's probably what they're waiting for before they make their push in.
But that said, though, we have a lot of solos remaining. I mean, not solo players necessarily, but solo positions that could be fought for. We talked about all the duos in shooting range. You could full-on commit down there, and hopefully for yourself, get yourself a one fight. Now Yellow, oh, there you go, around the corner, tries to get on inside the circle. He has a teammate in the shack in the middle. Well, why not put 3 guys in there? Open the door for us, open the door, we're coming in hot, we're coming in hot. Bada bing, bada almost boom. Oh no, Yellow goes down, get in, close the door, get in. There you go, inside he goes, and up he goes.
A little bit too close for comfort. Sixy may get the knock, but he won't get the kill. As Seacorg are looking to try and push their way further into shooting range here. 3 different teams, 7, 3D Max, and Seacorg. And it's 3D Max who are going to find the first knock onto Furax, which means 7, they can just sit and chill for a little bit longer here, right? Pressure's not being put onto them just yet. And they've been able to sit here for, what, 3 circles now?
Yeah, they've been up here for a while. They've had the benefit of the cover and shooting range, but they're very much stuck inside this house. Only 2 guys remaining alive, and they've got players on both sides of them. Believe me, well, they want to finish them off as fast as they can in case they do have to move on out of here. Northern Lights, there's not a whole lot more they could do. Vaso gets the knock with the nade, and then Sixy finishes off Perfectix on the flip side of things. And Riddle now under a lot of fire too.
That nade from Sunzi actually was really good, just at the wrong timing for Wago. He sees it and he's like, oh, okay, I'll just back away for now. I'm not going to go over in just yet. Now 7, trying to keep a good look around. They spot out Nest. Shots coming through. Eldo's just going to hold himself back. Doesn't want to push into it just yet. Take some further damage though, which is less than ideal. Riddle's been eliminated. It's inside games or finish off Zinzan. Nades coming out, and it's just a waiting game here. Who's going to poke first? Who's going to make the first mistake?
And you hear so many shots fired right now, but the only team that's shooting is actually Soaked It Down. They're spraying away at Tornado Energy. They got them pinned down by the bunker down there. And now for Ness and for Seahawk, they have to figure we're a passive team, sure, but we cannot take this fight for too long. If the next circle goes away, we'll see in just about 5 seconds time. We need to do something here.
Kravik out in the open, takes some extra damage. Sunzi spots him out. Kravik just has nowhere to look or nowhere to turn. Oh, Furek nearly made his way in. They had their eye on the door. That was ever so close. More nades going to come out. The smokes are down as well. In the circle now, they're going to have to start moving. They cannot sit and fight in this for far too long.
Exactly. Circle has shifted out of shooting range, at least to a certain extent, and there's not going to be room for these 3 teams into that, for sure. Now Snez comes around the corner. They are still 3 guys alive, and they need to utilize this if they want to have a chance of taking out 7. We know how good of a close quarter team they are. Kravik goes down, and this should be the time to push. There's 1 guy remaining. Edelweiss out. He goes down as well. Great knock coming in there to initiate the fight.
Double headshots from Sunzi as well. Impressive stuff. Actually, they had the drop on him. They spotted him out first, took the first shots, and Sunzi just said, no, I'm not having any of that. I'm going to use my superior aim to close you out. 7, just within the points, but not enough points for them.
And now you see, as soon as the circle popped, the Soaked It Down's focus shifted from Tornado Energy, where they were shooting everything they could. Boom. Now we've got to look into this shooting range. This is where the threat is going to come from. We can isolate ourselves with the trees, with the rocks from combat. There's no reason for Tornado to push up to us right now. The main threat right now is going to be shooting range, and that's where people will be coming out from. You see it right here, Phantom trying to get back up Waggo. I think that's the second or 3rd time he's been knocked. No helmet, that's for sure. And this is going to be tough one because look at them. They're just lining up on the ridge, waiting for them to come out in the open.
Not what you want to see at all there, as Moldman's taking a lot of damage from pretty much everyone firing up into him. Alpha's just going to rush in on the bike and see what he can get done for Ghost Legion. Furax is going to find the knock, but will he get the finish? Yes, he does. Stellar are eliminated up next, and Ghost Legion will surely not be far behind.
Not at all. YMD all by himself. Does some damage though, gets the knock on towards Combat. It's all these small things that's going to help him, but not enough. His damage is done from him. YMD goes down. Page gets a kill, and well, Wonder. Looks like Soaked It Down is going to get double-digit kills yet again.
All the small things, you've done it again. So
as a music major, that's just, it's a part of my nature, you know?
I love it. It's giving us plenty to work with. And what it's also giving us plenty to work with is Sequel. They are unrelenting in what they can do. Zoken Nam sees what's going on from the distance, is able to try and pick them off and pick them apart. But this is going to be really interesting because Kalimdor is just slowly prodding his way up behind everyone, saying, all right, you guys fight and I'll try to stay alive.
He had the benefit of Fenerbahce never being inside the actual shooting range. He's been proning alongside the fence the whole time. And we saw it. I mean, when there were 4 guys up, they were proning. So why not continue doing it when you're a solo player? You might not get the kills, but at least this time around, they're in the placements.
Tornado is in the best spot ever. They've got 4 players left alive, right? They still have to deal with Zen. And this battle's probably going to enrage before the rest of the teams jump in, which means you'll probably see Sequel just chill out for a bit here, even though their spots are known. And Kalimdor will just continue to prone his way through. So this is going to be the next exciting battle to watch out. But Zen's actually making their way over to Sequel. They want to deal the damage onto him now. They don't want to allow him to get ahead of them in any terms of points here. And Page, he's on the hunt for it. Tapping away, missing a couple of shots, but heavily tagging them up.
You've got to watch out not to repeat what you did last game there. Had 3 guys alive, Idol was down. It was the exact same scenario. You've got to be patient and watch for the snakes. And you talk about Tornado Energy being the best spot. I can tell you right now, they aren't, because they have to leave the benefit, like the comfort of their compound. Sure, they can go up to the wooden shack, but if the wolf blows hard enough on it, then it's going to be destroyed there as well. So they don't have a lot of cover. What they need is the fight to erupt by shooting range and use that timing to run up. Now, Eki is down. That should be their time to push.
Yeah, this is time to see if Tornado can get it done. And when I said best spot, I kind of just meant by in terms of numbers, right? They've got the numbers advantage to try and get it done here. You can never count out a team like Zoke and Nam, who have 9 kills and 3 players left alive. And this is Page. He knows what happened last time. He doesn't want to see it happen. Kalimdor punches up, Kalimdor goes down, and that is the way you play it. Zen keeping their eyes open, not learning from the positions that happened last time. They're learning from their mistakes.
But look at who's utilizing the focus being elsewhere. That's going to be Tornado Energy. This is what we've seen them do before. Wise decisions, great playing, and this is going to be it. 4 versus 1. It's going to be a really, really tough task, and it's going to be Furex somehow surpassing Soaked It Nam in this game. Seagulk had a good game last game, and now he's the guaranteed second. Gets down the first knock. Is more damage going to come in? Could get some kill points here as well if he is fortunate. 27 HP to work with, and still 3 more players to go.
Really nice from him. Couldn't get the finish though, but it happens regardless. Just from the low health, comes over the circle, but it's not going to work. Jumps up high, and there we see it. Tornado, we keep speaking about them. It's been such a quiet set of days from